You ever drive down a quiet street and just feel like something changed? The houses look the same. Same trees, same cracked sidewalks. Even the same guy mowing his lawn with headphones on. But something's different. Homes are sitting longer on the market. A local coffee shop suddenly shuts down with no warning. The bank down the street stops offering small business loans. And your favorite pizza place now delivers only till 8 p.m. instead of midnight. You start to wonder, was it just economy, bad luck, or was your neighborhood quietly reclassified? What if I told you that your entire block, your zip code, might have been scanned, scored, priced, and marked for change, and you never got the memo? Tonight, you're going to learn about the invisible system that can make your neighborhood worth more or absolutely worthless without a single person ever walking through it. This is the story of how artificial intelligence, data brokers, hedge funds, and even your own city government are using AI signals you'll never see to manipulate the places you call home. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and awareness purposes only. It does not provide legal, financial, or real estate advice. The content is based on research, expert commentary, and publicly available information, and is intended to inform viewers about emerging trends in AI, data profiling, and algorithmic decision-making. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage you to seek professional guidance when making decisions related to property, investments, or technology use. Let's begin. Jason and Maya thought they found their forever home. Small two-story place, freshly painted, close to a new tech park that was supposed to bring in jobs and retail. They bought in, fixed the place up, even started a garden. 6 months later, they tried to refinance. The bank said no, not because their credit was bad, not because the house lost value on paper, but because a model had flagged their neighborhood as medium-term risk. They were confused. Their neighbors hadn't defaulted. Crime hadn't gone up. The school still had an A rating. But that didn't matter. You see, the model wasn't looking at the school ratings or crime stats. It was looking at signal data. Hundreds of invisible variables pulled from their phones, Wi-Fi routers, social media metadata, and third-party data brokers. It was looking at Amazon package delivery rates, streaming habits, average traffic patterns on Monday mornings, even how many rideshares drop off nearby after 10 p.m. These micro-signals don't mean anything on their own, but together they paint a portrait of what kind of people live there, how likely the area is to trend upward, and how much money can be made from it. That portrait gets labeled with a neighborhood risk score, and that score doesn't stay on a spreadsheet. It gets sold to hedge funds, to developers, to real estate platforms, and increasingly to local governments. One change in the score can shift mortgage approvals, rent pricing, police patrol density, and even how your area is shown to online house hunters. In Jason and Maya's case, their neighborhood had dropped a few points. The AI model tagged as stagnating. That word alone was enough to quietly start pulling the financial oxygen out of the block. That's how fast it can happen. The scary part? The model wasn't wrong. It was self-fulfilling. Once the neighborhood was tagged negatively, investors stopped backing new housing projects. The city deprioritized sidewalk repairs. Public-private partnerships quietly shifted to the next high-potential neighborhood. And just like that, the map changed. But this isn't just one isolated case. Across the country, and in major cities around the world, AI models are being trained to classify entire neighborhoods using signals that have nothing to do with traditional economics. In fact, many of these signals aren't even visible to human beings. Have you ever used an app that asks for location access? Have you connected to a smart speaker or let your phone track fitness steps? That data is being harvested, bundled, and sold to algorithmic systems that monitor everything from lawnmower noise to pedestrian heat maps. Think of it like a Fitbit, but for your neighborhood, except you never signed up for it. And the AI doesn't just watch. It judges. It decides if your block is rising, declining, or flat, if you're underserved but ripe or oversaturated and fading. These classifications affect what loans get approved, which businesses expand, whether Whole Foods opens or a pawn shop. But here's where it gets darker. Some firms don't just passively observe the trends. They manufacture them. Imagine a hedge fund buys a few dozen houses in a borderline area. It pays micro-influencers to geotag Instagram photos with captions like "vibing in this up-and-coming neighborhood." It opens a sleek-looking co-working space. Just for optics, it floods job boards with listings that make the area look like a hiring hub. Even if no one's actually applying, it starts to manipulate the AI signals. Suddenly, the system starts reading higher foot traffic, younger demographics, startup energy. The algorithm flips. The neighborhood's value spikes, and the hedge fund sells. But it doesn't stop there. Some developers are known to reverse engineer signal suppression too. That's right. If they want to buy cheap, they can tank an area's classification by manipulating delivery traffic, distorting GPS data, or quietly paying to push negative social media sentiment. Why? Because when the AI believes your neighborhood is dying, the market follows, and the vultures start circling. You probably thought zoning laws and building permits controlled urban growth. Not anymore. Now it's the algorithm that says what grows and what dies. And sometimes the government listens. Many city planning departments now rely on predictive analytics platforms to forecast neighborhood trajectories. These platforms, often developed by private firms, recommend where to build schools, transit hubs, and business incentives. But what happens when those platforms are trained on biased or manipulated data? You guessed it. Whole communities get erased before they ever had a chance to develop. There's even a term for it now: algorithmic redlining. It's redlining 2.0. Except this time, no human has to say anything out loud. The system does the exclusion automatically, based on a risk model that's completely opaque. No appeal, no warning, just decline. What's worse, the very same models that classify neighborhoods also determine your personal credibility. Your address alone can affect your online credit offers, your insurance rates, even your chances of getting certain job ads. You are being judged not by who you are, but by where the algorithm thinks you're going to end up. Remember the Thompsons? They'd been in their home for over 30 years, raised 2 kids. Their block was stable. Until one year, their home insurance was canceled. The new quote was triple. The agent blamed it on risk reclassification. Soon after, their property tax assistance was revoked. When they complained to the city, they were told their area didn't meet the development potential metrics anymore. They asked, what changed? They got no answer. But here's what really changed. The number of package thefts reported in their zip code, thanks to an increase in Ring camera footage being uploaded, a spike in Uber rides terminating after midnight, and a popular YouTube influencer had posted a sarcastic video about the most boring street in America, using their block as a backdrop. Those signals were enough. The AI flagged the zone as declining, and decline became prophecy. Within 18 months, the Thompsons were forced to sell. Weeks after they left, the area was quietly acquired by a private equity firm. Within 6 months, new sidewalks, fiber internet, rebranded apartment units, and influencer-driven marketing calling it the next cool thing. It's not gentrification in the traditional sense. It's synthetic displacement. And it's coming from more than just cities. Suburbs, rural towns, retirement communities, college neighborhoods. No place is immune once it becomes data-rich. But here's what you can do. First, become aware of what data you emit. Turn off location sharing unless absolutely needed. Be cautious about apps that ask for Bluetooth or motion sensor access. Question smart device data collection, especially smart home gear that uploads activity patterns to the cloud. Second, pressure your local government to audit AI tools used in zoning, planning, and policing. Demand transparency. Ask who trained a model, who benefits from the outcomes. Third, organize digitally. Build local truth clouds, groups of residents who share real conditions, data, and stories to counteract false algorithmic narratives. Lastly, remember that the algorithm doesn't have a conscience. It doesn't care who you are. It only cares what you look like from space, what your phone habits say, what signals you leave behind when you think you're alone. It only sees shadows, and it builds reality based on those shadows. But now that you see the light, you can fight back. Because this isn't just about real estate. It's about whether you and your neighbors still get to shape the story of where you live, or if that story has already been written by a machine you'll never meet. And now, ask yourself, has your neighborhood changed lately? Has something felt off? Maybe you didn't imagine it. Maybe you were being reclassified. Tell us what you've noticed. Drop a comment below. Your story might match someone else's across the country, and that connection might be the start of a pattern. Hit that like button, not to boost this channel, but to send a signal they weren't expecting, that we're watching back. Subscribe now, because in the next investigation, we're exposing how job candidates are being screened out by AI models trained on profiles you never consented to share. This is Cybercrime Exposed Files. We uncover what they'd rather you never ask about. You weren't supposed to know this, but now you do, and that makes you dangerous.